Are you ready for war? Yeah. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sewa, 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 sewa. Enyawode, enyawode, enyawode. Oda fomboko. Ni aye kanisa aswodinye. Ah. Some no free the bank. Aswodite. Sewa. Some no free the bank. Aswodite. Yeah, 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 yeah. Aswodita no mama ye pasa. Sewa. Yeah, 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 yeah. Aswodita no mama ye pasa. Sewa. Radumuzu, radumuzu, radumuzu. Ah. Esi edu mesi aswodin ye fro obi ka kye ne saswodin ye woni sensa ka ho kopa bi ntem other bad boys montwe book ne pen me ne me boss uncle nenam me ya rover point me baham beham dope MC crime abom dam to auto punch fo amasa drop die ya uncle day I say kabute day Ken day Kwesi day I say Efrem day Kweku day Boama day Kanisin day, Abisika day, Ronnie day, JB day, J day, Sammy day. Come on, Sewa. Someone no feed the band as what it is. Someone no feed the band as what it is. Yeah. Aswodita no mama ye pasa. Yako. Yeah. Aswodita no mama ye pasa. Ah, sewa. Enyawode. Sewa. Esi edu aswodin ye fri obi ka kye ne aswodin ye woni sensa ka ho kopa bi ntem other bad boys montwe book ne pen me ne me boss uncle nenam me rover point me baham behram dope MC crime abom dam to moto punch fo amasa drop die ya uncle day kabute day Ken day Kwesi day Efrem day Kweku day I say Boama day Kanisin day Abisika day, Ronnie day, JB day, J day, Sammy day, Government day, ENCORE day, everybody day. Sewa, Oda from Boko. Sewa. Everyone no free woman. Everyone no free the band. Aswodite. Yeah. Aswodite no mama ye pasa. Yeah. Aswodite no mama ye pasa. Aswodite.
Well, hello, welcome to ENCORE. The voices you've heard are the latest from the zoo. The two songs are songs in our next play, special delivery, that opens to the public on next week, Saturday, at the National Theatre. That's 31st of March. And I need to run throughout the whole of the Easter weekend holiday. So if you are in Accra or can be in Accra for the show, you will not regret it. Tickets are already there. But if you use this platform to buy it, you're going to, and place the order today, you'll get it for 60 cedis. So the numbers are on the screen. Just activate it, and then let us see you at the National Theatre on 31st and 1st of April for special delivery, and you will not regret it. We'll take a very short break because I need to get these guys into the zoo, and then I'll come back and we'll continue. But these have been cast of special delivery. let me introduce the three young men. The two, you know, but the one on my left is Dr. Saksu. Believe it or not, he's a proper medical officer. And he has he's specializing in a field of medicine that enables you to take inspiration from your patients. And then this is Samuel. Samuel plays two characters in the play, and you would love him. You would enjoy him completely. And then this is Jay. Jay is one of the most interesting young men that I have come across, and he also plays two characters in the play, and you will be amazed. So we'll see you on the 1st of March and 1st of April at the National Theatre. But for now, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, I'll tell you what I have in store for you today. If you miss it, then if you are before, okay.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Get your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and the supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Anaki, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and Total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Thank you very much for staying with us. This is ENCORE, the Facebook platform, Facebook Live platform on which we discuss all things love, marriage, and relationship. Now, last week we looked at the X factor, the role that our exes play in our relationships. And at the end of it, I promised that I was going to give you a confession, that today I'm going to open the platform up for a confession. Now, I wanted to bring you the confession of a number of people. But after investigating and evaluating their evidence, I realized that if they made those confessions, they'll be committing suicide. So I decided that they shouldn't come. But I have a statement here to read. It is someone's true story, and I'm going to read it because I don't want to miss anything, lest I get sued. And then at the end of it, we'll see. So here we go. This is someone's confession. Let's call him KD. KD has one major regret in life, and that is this, that in 1977, he caused a young, beautiful lady a lot of pain, heartache, and anguish. Now, in those days, and KD tells me that I am not proud of what I did. He said, I still regret it very deeply. In those days, he was a leader in what we call an evangelistic ministry. It was an international, interdenominational, and non-denominational evangelistic ministry that had a Ghana chapter, and he was one of the leaders. And he was 23, and the lady, let's call the lady Bibi. BB was 19 years old. Now, at 23, KD was not really looking for a girlfriend because he wasn't sure he even wanted to marry. He didn't think marriage was for him. But then he was surrounded by all these beautiful young ladies in the group. And then one day he discovered that they were fighting over him, that the harmony of the group was threatened because everyone wanted to catch his attention. He had become the most eligible bachelor in the group, and all the girls were shooting for him, and they were doing all kinds of things, skirmishes, in order to catch his attention. So KD said he felt he needed to make a decision. He needed to get himself hooked before the group was ripped apart by all the competing interests in him. So he decided to settle down and pick a girlfriend. But once he made the decision to pick a girlfriend, it was a very easy choice for him because of all the ladies he knew, of all the ladies that were around him, there was one that meant more to him than all the others, and that was BB. And so he arranged for a meeting. He set up a meeting with BB, and then he told BB, proposed to BB and said, I want you to be my girlfriend. And BB said, okay. It was subdued, almost as if it was a borderline no sort of thing. And for some time, KD wasn't too sure. Is it a situation where a leader has forced himself on a member of a group, and the group member, out of respect, has had to say yes when maybe she would not have said yes? Anyway, so a relationship of sorts began between BB and KD. But in the kind of group they had, nothing stayed a secret. And so very soon, everybody got to know that KD, the leader, their leader, was dating BB, and then all hell broke loose. There were a group of boys who were interested, who had felt that BB belonged to one of their friends. And they resolved that they were going to do anything to break this relationship apart. And then there were a group of girls who also felt that KD had been created for them, and therefore, who was BB to come in and interfere? And each of them set into motion their own schemes. Now, the boys just made sure that whenever they managed to stay so close to KD, their leader, that they could always anticipate what his movements were. And whenever they knew that he was going to visit BB, they would make sure they were in BB's house before he came. Now, one day he goes to visit BB. Of course, they were there. And as he was leaving, he gets up and says, I want to go. And one of the boys who was closest to him decides to walk him to the gate. And as he did so, he tells KD that, are you sure this girl really loves you? Because, the boys are begging her to come and see you off. And at that point, KD flipped. What? Some people have to beg my girlfriend to come and see me off from her house. In his mind there and then, he decided this relationship is over. What he didn't know was that at that very moment, the boys were rather the ones who were obstructing her from moving. And she, BB, was rebuking them and telling them off and driving them out of her house. Unfortunately, by the time she managed to free herself and join him at the gate, the relationship was over. Now, KD's regret is not just that at that point he walked out of the relationship, but that he didn't have the decency to even tell her that he had called the relationship off. He just shut the relationship off in his mind, moved on, and did not have the decency to tell her what he had done. Now, while that was going on her side on BB's side, that's the girl's side, there was one particular girl who was feeding her with all kinds of stories, who was giving her the impression that, look, before you came on the scene, KD and I had a fantastic thing going. You are coming in in the way. And then there were people who went to her with all kinds of stories. Do you know what KD is saying about you? KD said you didn't mean anything to him and all kinds of things. To complicate matters, Bibi traveled out of Ghana soon after all these things happened. And out there, the bombardment of false news went to a whole new level. And she also decided, who the hell does he think he is? And then also cut him off. So here there were two people. They cut each other off for years. For 3 years, there was no communication between them. Until one day, one of the boys in the scheme went to the US to visit Bibi. And whilst on that visit, told her the schemes they had put in play to try to sabotage the relationship. It was then that Bibi tried to get in touch with KD and tried to see, did you know this was going on? Did you know these schemes were going on? It was for the first time that the two of them recognized what had happened, that they had become victims of a very, very elaborate scheme. Unfortunately, by that time, it was over. The relationship was over. Bibi was married. KD was married. It was over for them. Now, the interesting thing is that before the revelation of this, of the fact that, look, we were victims of a scheme, KD, who had moved on and gotten married, was happily married. But as soon as that news came, it plunged him into a crisis. When he realized what could have been, suddenly he was struggling in his marriage, and in his mind, he had almost walked out of his marriage. It took him 3 years to recover. 3 years in which he inflicted a lot of pain in his home because he was never there emotionally. He was there physically, not there emotionally, until one day his wife told him something that transformed the whole thing. The wife told him, I know you think you made a mistake, but I know I did not make a mistake. Now, here, I promise you a confession. So here's a confession. This story is my story. I am KD. I am the one who hurt somebody in 1977, and I still regret it. I still regret it because I know I didn't handle it well. I still regret it because of the pain I caused. But I am fortunate, and I am blessed that I married a kind of woman who stood by me and helped me through the crisis. Not by being in my face and give me ultimatum, but just by being supportive and letting me know how much she loved me, and therefore making it possible for me to make the transition to move on, out of the pain, to move on. I'm also happy that God being so good, Bibi got a chance to marry an incredible man. I know the man, we are friends, and I can tell you that I am no match for that young man, and I'm so excited that she got the opportunity to marry this wonderful person. It doesn't wipe away the pain of the past. It doesn't take away the shame of and the regret of what happened. But the point is that there is always life after a failure. There's life after a mess up. And that's the message I want to bring you today. Now, what this experience did was to teach me a lot. It taught me how to be humble. It taught me a few lessons. Because in the period of struggling with what does marriage mean, do I stay, do I walk away, or anything? It enabled me to get deeper into what marriage is all about. And so I am going to give you some of the lessons I picked. I'm going to give you 10 lessons that I picked from that experience. And then out of the 10, I'll give you 20 points, if there is time, on how you can make sure you never create an X. So if you're ready, these are the lessons that I learned in my moment of crisis. And they have served me well over all this. So let's go. 1. Because you wrote the thing, please. 1, The man who seeks his happiness at the expense of another person is not a true man. The man who seeks his happiness at the expense of another person is not a true man, because a true man has honor. The crisis, the challenge then was, okay, do I walk away knowing that, look, I may have made a mistake here, or what? Then I realized, look, when I went on my wedding day, when I exchanged the vows, I did not say, I take thee as my lawfully wedded wife on condition that I don't discover that I made a mistake in choosing you. That was not the choice, you know. And so once you've made the vow, a true man is a man of honor. You stay true to that vow. 2, our steps are ordered. Sometimes we think we've made a mistake, but how do you know you've made a mistake? Because even your mistake may be Providence's way of leading you into the right way. The steps of the human being is ordered. And I want you to understand that you may think that the course you did in school was wrong. No, it is not. Your steps are ordered. So trust in that hand that orders our steps. And when things don't go the way you had planned and the way you expect, still believe that you are all right. Because trust me, the hand that runs this world is much bigger than you. 3, and it is the implication, it arises from 2. 3, God uses our mistakes. God can use our mistakes, but on a condition. We must commit to honoring him even in the mistake. In other words, let's grant it, that maybe you wake up and discover, oh my goodness, I made a mistake in marrying this person. Well, but you've married that person. You made certain vows. Honoring God under those circumstances means staying true to this marriage. Staying true to this marriage. And then you see God that God can use even our mistakes. 4, we do not marry those we want. We marry those we need. Oh, if you gave me the chance right now, I can draw for you the kind of girl I wish I could marry. But that girl could be a trophy wife and give you a halak. How many men haven't had stress and BP because of the beautiful girl, the girl of their dreams? The girl of your dreams may not be the girl of your purpose. So think about that. You may not have married who you want, but you've married who you need. Honor and cherish that person, and then the blessings will flow. 5, they may mean it for evil, but God always turns it for good. If you do not allow any room for bitterness. I picked that from Joseph, of course, those of you who know your Bibles. The friends who schemed to sabotage the relationship between me and that young lady thought they were clever. They thought they were destroying a good thing. But in having their way and in me not responding with bitterness, the blessings that has come the way of Florence and I are amazing. The opportunities we've had to serve, the opportunities we've had to impact lives has been something absolutely amazing. So they meant it for good, but in Florence, I believe that I have been gifted a wife for my purpose, and I am so grateful for that. 6, in marriage, love is an effect, not a cause. In marriage, love is an effect, not a cause. There are people who say, I don't love her anymore, I don't love her anymore. No, that's not the cause. It's an effect. Love comes from the way you live with a person. Love comes from the way you respect the person, the way you cherish the person. Even if you were in love before you married, you will still, as soon as you marry, love will become an effect, not a cause. It is something that comes and grows depending on how you conduct yourself in the relationship. So, love really is overrated in marriage because it is an effect. Look for the cause. The cause that will bring love, like respecting one another, like being thoughtful and sensitive, like being generous, by affirming each other. Those are the things that will bring love and grow love. 7, the purpose of marriage is bigger than your personal happiness and enjoyment. There are people who say, oh, I'm not happy in my relationship. Who told you marriage is to make you happy? Marriage is a purpose. It's about purpose. And the purpose is much bigger than your personal happiness and enjoyment. Because, look, when the children come, suddenly you become a custodian of the future of these. Can you imagine your child can be the president of Ghana? If you are Obama's father, your child can be the president of the US. It's a far bigger purpose than you. Your child may discover the cure for cancer. Can you imagine? So it is, and it all rests with you as a parent to create the kind of home that will help this child to come into his, to realize his fullest potential. And that is the purpose of marriage. And therefore, it is far bigger than your 2x4. I'm not happy, and it doesn't make me happy. It doesn't cook well. If it doesn't cook well, go learn how to cook some. 8, don't believe everything you hear. Oh, there are many of us go into relationships and we are listening to everybody. Oh, have you heard? I saw your girl here. I saw your man here. Do you know your man is doing this? And they say, shut them all up. You are the one in the relationship. They don't care about you. Why are they telling you these things? So be careful what you hear, because a lot of the things you tell, and if you don't know people can lie, then you are yet to live. Because human beings can lie and talk about things they haven't seen. You know, I connected with this young lady years after. One of the things that came up that I still remember, she had come from the US with a gift for somebody and said, so she comes to me and says, oh, here, give this one to X. And then I said, X, why are you? I haven't seen X in 8 years. What are you saying? X calls me every day and tells me that she eats in your house every evening. X was nowhere near us, and yet had given the impression she was part of the household and was spreading her own mischief. 9, don't assume that everyone is happy about the relationship. Hey, you are happy. Those of you who put your relationship on Facebook, you don't know how many people are scheming against you. And that is why keep your relationship protected. Don't assume everybody is excited about it. You are excited. Be careful what you say about what you tell people about what is going on in your relationship. Every time you go to your friends and say, "Oh, do you know? As for my man, Kennison, he's such a fantastic person." Your friends are going, "Oh, we should kill this relationship. We should kill this relationship." No, I use Kennison against Ken, but because I think Kennison will be a better lover than Ken. But now, Ken, I hope you can see your enemies now. Nine. Now that said 9. Okay, 10. Be open to each other. Be open to each other. If you're in a relationship, don't stop bringing issues to before each other. You've heard something, go and ask. I heard this. Or better still, Asimesi said this. Sometimes we try to protect our informants. But in trying to protect your informant, you are protecting somebody who is hurting you. Because you do not know what that same informant is also telling the other party. So sometimes it pays when you go and you say that Ephraim said this. Then you know, Ephraim, hang on, Ephraim also came to me and said this. You know, then we all know that Ephraim is concerned. So, those of you making noise, you know, I know your names. I will use your name in the presentation before I end. So be open to each other. Raise issues with each other. Now, so those are the 10 lessons that I picked from my crisis. Today, I'm going to do something very different. I am bringing in 2 of my adopted daughters, and they are going to pepper me with questions because they know this story, and maybe there are aspects of the story that their questions may tease out. So we'll take a short break, and when we come back, they will join me on set, and then we'll take the conversation further. So please don't go away.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Anaki, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies. Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and a supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
They call me Uncle WHYTE. I am the CEO and Artistic Director of Roverman Production. What matters now is that I am committed to you becoming the best you can be. Welcome back, and I'm happy you stayed with us. I'm joined by 2 of my adopted daughters. On my right is Elsie, and on my left is Effie. Both of them work with me. They all know the story, and they have given me an indication that there are questions they would like to ask to probe a little deeper. So, welcome, Elsie and Effie. I don't know which of you is going to go first.
Big sis.
Okay, I would like to know, how did the lady deal with the breakup? How did the lady deal with the breakup?
I think she struggled with it even more than I did. We've had a chance to talk about this extensively, and it is part of my own heartbreak to see that I caused her so much unnecessary pain. But it was a very bad thing. The next time she comes to Ghana, I may bring her on camera, and then she can talk her story. So I don't want to go beyond saying that it was a very difficult thing for her to deal with.
I guess on that question, I'd like to know how you handled her in those immediate, the few hours and days and weeks after. What were your conversations like, and how did you manage to find a sense of closure, or did you?
When I walked out of her gate that day, where one of the boys said that they have had to beg her to come and see me off, we didn't talk after that. I mean, there was a total blackout for more than 3 years. We didn't talk at all. So there wasn't any contact of any kind until one of the boys had gone to her and to tell her what they had done and how we had fallen for it. That was the first time that we had that conversation. So our first conversation was on that. That did you know that A, B, and C were scheming this? And then the other one, what was going on between you and this girl, girl Y, who said the two of you were having such a fantastic relationship before I came on the scene? What was going on? So that was the first time we sat down and, as it were, cleared the dust. And then after that one, once we discovered that we've been had, as it were, both of us decided, and it wasn't a conversation we had, on our own. I decided that it was my mistake. There's no need to make another victim from my mistake. I have messed up. I must face up to the mess up, because in the messing up, somebody has also affects some other people. They were not part of the mess up, and they should not pay for the mess up that I have done. Then all the lessons that I have learned, that a true man does not seek his happiness at the expense of another person. I may not be happy, but Florence is happy in this relationship, and therefore my task is to make sure that she continues to be happy, and then hope that my healing will come as we go. And in that one, I think the healing for both of us have come. So it's still a sore that has a mark, that left a mark, but it is healed. The mark is there. I don't think that I would ever forget it. I don't think that she would ever forget it. I don't think our spouses will forget it, because all of them had to deal with this kind of with the crisis where we were all struggling with. But thankfully, out of it has come a beautiful friendship for all of us concerned.
Okay, so how long had you been married before your ex came knocking on the door for want of a better word, closure?
About 3 years, between 3 and 4 years. And it's interesting what happened that day. And that's why I would say that our steps are ordered. Because that day, remember, there hadn't been any contact for years. And then I am entering my office, and as I stretch out my hands to open the door handle went between my finger and my ring and ripped the ring apart. So the ring fell from my hand. It just fell from my hand. And I remember standing there, and I looked at the ring on the ground that had been split. And in my mind, a voice started saying, "Watch out, your marriage is in trouble. Your marriage is going to be hit." So I stood there, looked at it, and I started praying. Picked the ring up, went to my office. I hadn't quite settled when the phone rings. And I picked the call, hello, and a voice says, "Do you know who is calling?" And immediately I mentioned her name, because, her voice, and I said, "You?" Said, "Yes, can we meet and talk?" That was the first contact. And it was on the back. On the back of this thing. I think God moves in very mysterious ways, and I believe that the Spirit of God had attempted to warn me that don't handle this the way a normal human being would handle it, because there is more to this than you think there is.
Uncle Effie, let me come in. Would you not say that this is a sign that this marriage is not to be, and you should get back with your ex, whom you love, and she loves you deeply?
No.
Safe to say that was my question.
No, I can see that from the human mind. Again, if all you live for is your own happiness, then yes, because then you remember what Paul said, that if it's only in this life that we have hope, then we are of all men most to be pitied. Because there are choices that the average man would make because he doesn't have any view of eternity, that the Christian with a view to the fear of God cannot do. even though it will give you so much advantage. For instance, if you are in school and questions leak, yeah, do you go for it, or do you decide that I have worked hard for this, I am going to go in my own stream? And that one depends upon your relationship with God. I believe that I stood before God and before witnesses to make my vows, and there was no condition. I did not say that I am marrying you knowing, because at the time I was marrying, I knew I loved somebody. But I didn't say that if that person becomes available, trust me, this marriage is over. No. Once that became, then the issue of how much honor do I have came into play. How much fear of God do I have came into play. Because I may think I have made a mistake, but she did not think she had made a mistake. And therefore, there's something to that. It takes two. Marriage is a union of two. So you just can't get up and say, I know I've made a mistake, so I am out. If you think you made a mistake and the other party said, I didn't make a mistake, your ministry, your role is now to minister to the other person who did not make a mistake. And trust me, blessings can come out of it, as I can testify to with my own life.
So, Uncle, are you saying then that if you know you're in love with someone and you know you don't quite have closure, all you have is your anger from the moment that you didn't understand what was going on, but you actually didn't have closure, the two of you hadn't agreed to the end of the relationship, so would you say that you should move on and marry just because a number of years have passed? Because I'm sure there are many people right now watching that are sitting up like, oh my days, so should I just move on, or is there harm in waiting or staying single,
trying to seek closure before you move on?
Well, I mean, why do you have to move on then?
No, because don't forget that you don't control the other person. To seek closure with the other person must also seek closure. What if the other person does not care and does not mind? So you owe it to yourself. And in life, we all from time to time will have to take responsibility for our lives and for our emotions and the way we feel. And I've always said that if someone breaks up with you and you disintegrate, you have just proved to the person that he was right to move on, because you were not whole. He was going for a defective person. You know, if he moves on, yes, you're a human being, mourn, but find a way of getting back to your feet so that the next time the person hears about you, you are doing so well that he will realize, my goodness, I walked away from a good person. Not to hear that you are in the mental hospital and say, you see, God save me, oh, God save me, you see the girl? So pick it up. It will be good if you can have the opportunity, but the point I'm making is that quite often you will not have the opportunity. And it may not also be dignifying to go seeking it, because then you arm that other party, depending on what it is. Especially if somebody walks out of you and there is malice in him or in her, then he will take every opportunity to humiliate you. So when you're going to seek closure, he's only going to tell you, she came begging, she came to my house begging. Do you understand me? Which is going to make life even more terrible for you. So, if you know how to pray, pray. If you have to cry, cry. But give yourself a period when you mourn. And at that period, don't be shocked by yourself. You may even go into alcohol and things like that. But continue to look for control. Continue to look for ways of affirming yourself. Continue to look for a way of getting it into your mind that I wasn't created for him. I had a life before he came in. I can still live without him. I say that a good partner is the one who can tell you that I love you. You enrich my life. But if you move away too, I will still have a life. Do you understand me? You enrich my life. But if you move away too, I will still have a great life. When you can say that, then you have made a huge progress.
So are you saying...
This will be your last question. So if you have any other questions, because I wanted to go back to those who are dying to participate in this.
Are you saying that it's okay to be friends with your ex? Because I believe there are extra circumstances. There are things like your faith and the similar beliefs and all that helped you guys to not only stay friends, but for your spouses to also understand the nature of it. But for those who aren't like that and who are probably using this as an excuse to carry on friendships, I mean, what's your advice to those?
I think every situation is different. Every situation is different. But general principle here, and I stated that last week, is that in the early days of a breakup, total blackout. In the early days, because you need to heal, you need to move on. That person also needs to move on. There must be a clear breakup. Sometimes you walk away and the other party hasn't quite accepted the fact that this is over, and will continue calling, will continue pestering you. So there must be a period when you are not picking calls, when you are not taking, reading his messages or her messages. You delete them as they come until all of you have healed, so that the next time you meet, you are not meeting with the animosity of the breakup. You are meeting as two decent human beings who used to like each other and understand that we've had something, it's past, but at least we can be civil and friendly. But it cannot be at the expense of our current relationships. The fact that we had something and we walked away doesn't mean that now that we are back in contact, we should let our current spouses suffer. And that is, for me, is the key. Your current partner should not have to pay a price for your mess up. Under no circumstances should you let your current partner pay a price.
My final question will be, how did your various spouses deal with this? This is clearly my partner's ex knocking on the door and threatening my marriage. What was their contribution that helped to secure your marriage her marriage as well?
I think it is not the contribution of our spouses. It's a contribution of the two of us involved and the assurances we gave the current partner that there's no way of another person coming in, whether this one or any other person. Because you see, sometimes we focus on the ex. What we fail to focus on are the people we go after out of the pain of having an ex. I don't know if you understand me. So let's say I dated you, we break up. I am angry, I am hurt. So I run to Effie. Effie, I may never have gone for Effie if you hadn't broken up with me. All right. Then let's say I marry Effie, but I haven't still gotten over you. So Effie doesn't have me. And because Effie also knows she doesn't have me, Effie is not also giving me the kind of emotional support that she needs to give me. Because she knows I don't have you. Why? Don't bother me. So then it opens the door for me then to go to Nanasam. You understand me? So Effie is out. Elsie is out. Elsie is the one Effie will know that, no, whenever Elsie comes anywhere near, no, shoot Elsie. But Elsie is out, Nana Sam is in, arising from the pain of Elsie. So we should understand that one. So sometimes we are looking in the wrong direction. It is like soccer. You look at Messi, tackle Messi, and stay there. Suarez will pass by and score you, and it's like that. So, but both she and I, at various times, got opportunity to assure our respective partners, our commitment to this relationship is total and absolute. I have a history, I have a pain in the past, but it's not your business. And I will not make you pay the price for that. And I will not let you suffer for that either. I have dealt with it. Let's just move on for it and move with that assurance that it's not going to come to haunt you. Right. I'd like to thank Elsie and Effie for joining me. We'll take a very short break so that it will enable them to slip away and call their exes so they can tell them we have learned a few things.
Please, they wish. We are not calling.
All right, so let's take a short break. We'll be back. We'll be right back.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Anaki, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Time, I'd like to thank you for staying with us. We will now take your comments and your questions. And once again, thank you very much for staying with us. And remember, special delivery is the next play. Oh, before the questions come, I have a little announcement. The space we use for our studio is a very small one, but we have room to take about 5 of you every week. So if you are part of this and you would like to join us and see how we do this and see how all the other guys run and how Ephraim shouts on everybody, just indicate your interest and we'll book you and let you come. And then when you come, we would introduce you. So we hope you take advantage of it. All right. Do we have questions?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go.
To follow up with what Uncle Abel said, if you're interested, please send us your name via our WhatsApp line. Thank you very much. From Elhana, wow. But how are you able to accomplish this purpose of marriage if you are not happy?
Well, take responsibility for your happiness. It's not the marriage that is not making you happy. If you are not happy, there is a basic reason. So take a look at it. There are other things that are not making you quite happy. So interrogate it further.
Nesbitt says, Uncle, how do I know I need this lady and not want her?
Whoever you are relating to, be the best partner the person can have, and you discover that's the person you need.
From Belinda, Uncle, what if your partner is not open?
Oh, that is always a headache. If your partner is not open, that is always a headache. But so that becomes, it imposes a challenge on the relationship, but it is not a deal breaker, so make the most of it.
Anipa says, Uncle, so I'm talking to this lady, but everyone is against it, saying she's high maintenance. She's older. What's your advice?
Is she high maintenance? Because you are in that relationship, you should know. So what's going on? Because if everybody's against it, everybody cannot be wrong. So what's going on there? The decision, however, is your decision. It's not theirs. Don't surrender that decision to them. But on the other hand, also, open your eyes and see what they may be pointing to.
From Tricia, but Uncle, what if you listen to people small and also you do your own observation? Yes.
Come again.
What if you, in regards to
yes,
not listening to people?
Yes.
What if you listen to people small?
Yes.
And also do your own observation?
Well, the key here is that you did your own investigations, and that will protect you, because that will help you to confirm. Because don't forget that even when you hear something and you confront your partner, you are just confirming, trying to get to the root of what you've heard, and that is cool.
Ekia Ahin says, Uncle, please, this is my question, dear. You must answer it for me clearly. My boyfriend's ex keeps posting pictures of him on her WhatsApp status with love emojis.
Jesus.
I confronted him and he says they are broken up, but they are just friends. Uncle, this hasn't happened just once. And the painful aspect of all is that she posts pictures that I took with my phone. Uncle, please advise.
Well, what the girl is doing is called psychological warfare.
So she didn't kill him.
She is creating a situation where you will destroy your relationship. Don't let it be a factor. Unless your man is giving you reason to be suspicious. But otherwise, she is only setting fire in the relationship in the hope that you will walk away. In the hope that you will be angry with the man. In the hope that you accuse the man. In the hope that there would always be disharmony in your relationship. And then she will snoop in and pick him. Ignore her. If you like, next time you take pictures, forward some to her. No, because she likes to post it. So forward it to her. And I said, Ajua, I know you will find the pictures and use anyway, so don't bother. Don't get here.
Straight from the source.
Here, now use it for whatever you want to use it for.
From Akira, hello uncle. What action do you take when friends tell you stuff about your boyfriend or girlfriend? Not only with the word of mouth, but with evidence like pictures proving that he is not into you. Do you go ahead and still not believe?
No, confront him. And then that's why it pays in a relationship. And I think we've said this in earlier presentations, that when you're in a relationship, get to know his friends, get to know his family. And these are some of the reasons. So that if there's something going on, you can do your homework. You can call his friends and say, this is what I'm hearing. What's the truth? Or somebody in the family may call you and give you a heads up. That would lead you to be able to know what kind of questions to ask and what to look out for. Confront him, but do your homework. And then after that, confront him with the facts. Because, look, there are bad people there. There are people who are not correct. Unfortunately, we fall in love with them. And you owe it to yourself to protect yourself against them.
From Akwesi, how do you deal with a partner who is emotionally distressed? A cue is from your own story you have shared today.
Oh, if it's a man, give him a bit of room, because men will work out our crisis alone. Don't stay by him. Sometimes women make it difficult for us to heal by saying, oh, what's going on? Whoa, what's going on, man? Baby, talk to me. And that time, I don't want to talk to you. Go away. Leave me in my cave. When I recover, I'll come looking for you. If it's a lady, it's a bit different. She would want to talk through it with you, and place yourself where she can talk through it with you.
Mavis Trinidad says, Uncle, you are really a blessing to me. I was going through a terrible experience in my life ever since I started listening to ENCORE and becoming a better person. God bless you. Watching from the UK.
Mavis, I'm happy to hear that.
Ajua Korang says, my ex is not my friend. He is and will always be my ex. He cannot metamorphosize into anything else. Full stop.
No, Ajua, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Your ex does not need to be your friend. Some exes are better staying away. So you know what you are dealing with, and nobody can fault you for that, Ajua.
So some exes tend to be comma.
Well, Kwesi is saying some exes tend to be comma. If they are comma, do ... to it, and then move on.
Species says, my quote of the day, I love you, you enrich my life, but if you decide to walk away, I'm okay.
I'm okay. I'll still have a life.
Yeah,
I will still have a life.
From Abi, what if after marriage the ex comes back and wants closure, but not just that, he thinks both of you should leave your spouses and get back together?
That is not on. That is not on at all. Your spouses have not contributed to your mess. Listen, the mere fact that you call somebody an ex means that the two of you had your chance and you've blown it. Why are you blowing somebody else's chance? No, don't create victims out of your mistake. You made a mistake. Deal with it. Don't create victims out of your mistake.
Nesbitt said, oh, uncle, please, we want the pink lady to speak one more time. That accent, man.
Uncle, five comments later.
The pink lady is Ife, one of the most intelligent and creative people you would ever meet. There's more to her than a pretty face, trust me.
What's up as for her bride price? From Papa Che, if you have
Increase the number of cows.
from Papa Che, if you have a child in her custody, how do you go about the blackout since you need to visit your child from time to time? Do you allow your relatives to do the visitation on your behalf?
Or a friend, a relative or a friend. And I know people who have done this, and then they elect a third person and say that if you want anything for the children, let it go through this person. But the children will need you from time to time, so work out something so that if it is possible, the children come to spend a weekend or holidays with you, and that'll be fantastic.
Dennis Nachele says, very touching. Have been learning a lot from your program, Uncle. Thank you. I'm watching live from Moscow, Russia.
Hey, Moscow. Well, please tell President Putin congratulations for me for winning a re-election, please.
Uncle, please, the same Dennis continues. He says, Uncle, the Elsie lady looks so good. Is she married or seeing someone? From Russia with love.
Okay. No. Come on. No. All right. We've heard you from Russia. So the next time you come on holidays,
Get in touch.
let us know. Let us know.
I will link you. Don't worry.
Okay, so Lord says, Uncle, a colleague is stuck between two ladies. One is schooling and the other is a nurse. He is trying to choose, but he doesn't want to err.
Hold on. I don't answer questions that are asked on behalf of other people on this platform. Because I believe that nobody drinks medicine for a sick person. If your friend asks, I would answer. Let's go on, please.
Don Wazi says, Uncle, please, have you thought of making it up to her again if you hadn't met your wife? That is, if you were single.
Well, I did not. That discussion never came up because at the time we reconnected, both of us were married. We respected our marriage, so we did not look at what could have been. But I think both of us are mature enough and have seen enough to know the danger of what could have been. What if? What if is a dangerous question to ask. It's a dangerous question to ask. It will make you discontent about what is. Let what could have been go. It didn't happen. It didn't be. So what is what matters. Live in the real world, not in a world of fantasy. What could have been is always fantasy, and I am not interested in fantasy.
Papa Che says, if you have a child in her custody, how do you go about the blackout since you need to...
We've answered that question already.
From Ekia, Uncle, my ex-husband thinks I hate him for keeping him at arm's length. I have moved on, but he's still super slippery like okra. The kids are missing out because he refuses to take up any opportunity I offer for him to spend time with them without me. How can I handle this?
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It's too common a scenario, but it never also gets too old. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Mariam says, Uncle, what if your boyfriend is too close to your mother than usual? Even shares secrets that you don't even know a thing about.
And what's the problem?
She's not happy about it.
With your mother being close to your boyfriend? That's your current boyfriend, right?
Yes, they share secrets she doesn't know.
Okay, all right. Your mother is showing you what a gem your boyfriend is. Hurry up and marry him. Before your mother does. I'm sorry for making light of this. Please don't take offense, I beg you.
From Lee, Uncle, what do you do when your ex, who you have a child with, has closed every channel of communication with you, and this is really eating you up?
That was part of the price you know, when you're in a relationship and there are children and you are walking away, you must understand this is one of the price you have to pay. So you're paying the price. Unfortunately, there may not be any easy answers. So continue to negotiate. See if you can bring third parties to help you out. But if your leaving causes a lot of pain, then you can be sure that you're going to be punished. Pay the punishment happily. But trust me, it will not always be this way. With time, the wounds will be healed, and there may be opportunity to establish a relationship with the children.
Loretta Labi says, my quote of the day, the girl of your dreams might not be the girl of your purpose, and vice versa. Blessed says, Uncle, I really get confused about this issue. I have learned from your program that it's advisable for a highly educated lady to get married to a man who is also educated. But I keep hearing from many that the idea isn't advisable because...
No, wait. I'm not too sure that you've read the thing well. That it is advisable for a lady go.
It is advisable for a highly educated lady to get married to a man who is also educated.
Who has some education, yes.
But I keep hearing from many that the idea isn't advisable because that has also caused a lot of women to lose their suitors.
To lose their what?
Suitors.
Their what?
Suitors. Pursuers. Yes. Admirers.
No, how does that happen? How does it make them lose their suitors? Or the suitors are not well educated?
Probably, yeah.
Then they were not suitors. No. If you fall in love, with the queen, if you fall in love with the queen, you are not her suitor. You are not the suitor, so don't get anywhere there. So, but that principle, I think, is relevant. I understand that we have quite a few questions on the line. The streaming should have ended now, and I'd like to thank you for staying. But because of the number of questions on the line, we'll take 5 more minutes to address some of those questions, and then I'll bring it to a close.
From Marcy, Uncle, my ex is making my life unbearable. He has now seen what he has lost and is sending different people to beg on his behalf. I have a son with him, and he is trying to use that against me emotionally. I don't love him anymore.
So if you have moved on, you have moved on. Don't let his begging make any difference.
Hi, Uncle. I am Kobe. I never wished for an ex, but at 28, I now have an ex. After close to 3 years of dating, I wanted to be in touch with her and still be a kind of support because I thought she was fragile. But it appears she's still not ready to be honest with me. She can really lie. So I blocked her after one time she confirmed and I asked.
Hold on. She's your ex. Why are you bad-mouthing her? You've moved on. You moved away. Move away. Leave her. And don't bad-mouth her. Don't tell her she's a liar and all that. And if you know she was fragile, why did you break her? That sounds very irresponsible. You've moved on. Move on. She'll be fine. God will take care of her. Trust me.
A question from Nee.
But don't bad-mouth her.
What do you do when you discover that your wife's new friend who she met at the salon is your ex? And she even invited her home for a meal.
That was an accident by plan.
It's called the chicken coming home to roost. When she can't just be nice and say hi, she didn't come to you, she came to your friend. She came to your wife. So say hello and go into your room. And leave them there.
In
your house, why? It's your wife. It's the house of your wife also. So why are you making a case of your wife? In a married home, the house belongs to 2 people. So leave. She has brought her friend home. You don't have to be friends to her friend.
Hey. Uncle, and if later your wife discovers that she's your friend,
and then when we get to that bridge, we'll jump it. We'll cross it. No, we'll cross it.
Well, my defense is you brought her home. I did it.
That's what I'm saying. When we get there, we'll cross it. Wait,
okay.
wait for the questions to come.
Okay.
Except that when you are introduced, don't behave as if you've never met before, because then you would pay for it. So, come, oh my dear, come. I brought a friend home. Oh, this is meet Effie. Oh, hi, Effie. Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see you again. Yes, let her come and ask. Oh yes, I knew her. She's a girl. She's a girl I knew in my past. Simple. Hey, did you tell me? Did you tell me everybody you met? Hey.
That would be a long conversation.
Well, later it has to be.
I met you at the age of 28. What register are we going to use to mark all the people we know? No, when you raise the question, when it comes up, we'll talk about it.
Nee says, what do you do, Uncle, when an ex you have a child with has closed every channel of communication?
The question has
Okay.
been asked. Go on to the next one.
From Miriam. Uncle, is it right for your boyfriend to tell your mother about him having a child and also ask her to keep it from you, which she actually did after you begging him to tell you everything about himself?
Come again.
Uncle, is it right? Let's say, Uncle, is it right if your boyfriend told your mother about having a child and also asking the mother not to keep it away from her?
Your mother?
Yes.
So your mother now knows that the boy you are dating has a child?
Yes.
But you don't know?
Yes.
And has told the mother to keep it from you?
Which she actually did.
And your mother has also kept it from you?
Yes. Especially after she had been begging the gentleman to tell him.
Wait, and you are sure she's your mother? You are sure she's your mother? Let's go on, please.
Our next question is from Nana Hima. Uncle, my husband has a baby with a colleague at work and is now living with the woman and the baby. I'm a wedded wife, but he has refused to send back my dowry. But all he is doing is abusing me with words.
Listen. If you're a wedded wife, you don't talk about dowry. You go to court. Your husband can go to jail. Because under our law, if you are married under the ordinance, you can't have a second wife. So he's broken the law. Talk with a lawyer. Talk with a lawyer. And the men who are married and you are wedded and you think you can do anything to your wives, it's not honor. There are laws in this country. There are laws in this country. Maybe we should go back to the days of our parents and grandparents who did not do wedding because they knew the implications. They stayed with a woman for 30 years and then wedded her as a long service award. You know? But once you wed, and there's a reason why every girl who is getting married should ask to be wedded in a proper church, because not every church can be wedded in. They are not covered by the law. So before you get married in a church, I find out from them whether they are registered and authorized to conduct weddings under the ordinance. And if you are married under the ordinance, your man can't go and take another woman and go and live with her. Talk to a lawyer. I believe that if we jailed a few of such men, other people will stop taking women for granted. It's not right, oh. It is not right. Wait. No. I'm trying to recover from it. Give me a moment. Yes. Okay. No. We have not taken any more questions.
Okay.
I promised 5 minutes, and I think I've taken more than 5 minutes. So, please, special delivery is my next play, National Theatre, 31st of March and 1st of April. If you make your order right now through 050-554-7 6030 050 554 6030. You will get the ticket at a huge discount. Once again, thank you for staying with me. I hope it has been worth your while. I don't take the fact that you sacrifice your time and your data to be with me for granted. And remember, we would like to meet many more of you to be a part of what we are doing. So if you would like to join us, send your name to us, and we'll schedule you for appearing. One more time, thank you very much. Have a blessed week. Hello, they call me Uncle White. I am the CEO of Roman Productions, but I'm also very